Ferrari just unveiled its first ever fully electric car, and the internet has opinions. Someone on Reddit called it giving Waymo vibes. Another said it was somehow worse than they could ever have imagined. Jalopnik asked, and I'm quoting directly here, whether it was an elaborate prank. And look, I get it. I saw the photos. I had thoughts. But here's the thing. Before we decide whether Ferrari just made the worst mistake in their history or the most quietly brilliant move in the luxury car industry, we need to actually understand what this car is, who it's for, and what Ferrari was trying to do. Because I don't think this is a mistake at all. Let me show you why. First, the basics, because there's a lot of noise out there and very few straight answers. The name Luce means light in Italian. Ferrari chose it deliberately. It's their way of framing this car as something elegant rather than purely technical. Not the electric Ferrari, not Ferrari EV, Luce. It's a statement about what they want this car to feel like before you've even opened the door. It is not a traditional two-seat sports car. It's a four-door, five-seater grand tour. Think long journeys, a proper back seat, luggage space. Think less Friday night track day, more Saturday morning drive to somewhere beautiful with someone you actually want to spend time with. It sits alongside Ferrari's existing lineup rather than replacing its combustion engine cars. This is not Ferrari abandoning the V12. This is Ferrari adding a new chapter. And the price? It starts at 550,000 euros, approximately $640,000. I know, we'll come back to that. Here's where it gets genuinely impressive, and where most of the criticism falls apart. 4 electric motors, one at each wheel. Total output 1,113 horsepower, a 122 kilowatt-hour battery, range of 330 miles, fast charging at up to 350 kilowatts. 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 2.5 seconds, top speed of 310 kilometers per hour, in a 5-seat Grand Tour. For context, that's quicker than a Lamborghini Reveletto off the line, in a car with a proper back seat that you can drive for 330 miles without stopping. Ferrari also introduced something called the e-Manettino, a new driving mode selector that works alongside the traditional Manettino on the steering wheel, adjusting power delivery and drivetrain behavior across multiple modes. In range mode, it's a composed rear-biased Grand Tour. In boost mode, it's a 1,000 horsepower weapon. The engineering here is not the problem. The engineering is extraordinary. So let's talk about the thing everyone's actually arguing about: the design. Ferrari brought in Love From, the creative agency founded by former Apple chief designer Jony Ive, to lead both the exterior and interior design. And Ive has been working with Ferrari on this for 5 years. This wasn't a last-minute collaboration. This was a considered long-term partnership. The result? Glass surfaces, brushed aluminum detailing, disciplined geometry. An interior that feels more like an upscale Apple product than a traditional Italian Super GT. Several prominent designers have called it utterly inappropriate for a Ferrari. One called it soulless. But here's my honest take, and I think this is the take that most reviews are missing. The Luce is not designed for the person who already owns a Ferrari. It's designed for the person who has never considered buying one. Think about who buys a $640,000 electric Grand Tour in 2026. It's not the purist who already has a 296 GTB in their garage and gets emotional about the sound of a flat plane V8. That person isn't going electric yet, and Ferrari knows it. The Luce buyer is someone who made their money in tech or finance or built something. They buy a Rolls-Royce or a Bentley because they want something exceptional and effortless. They own a Tesla or a Porsche Taycan because they're serious about electric, and they've always thought Ferrari was incredible, but not quite for them. Ferrari's chief commercial officer said the reaction from non-Ferrari clients who previewed the car was extremely positive. Non-Ferrari clients. That's the whole sentence right there. That's who this car is for. Jony Ive didn't design a Ferrari for Ferrari people. He designed a Ferrari for Apple people, and I think that's exactly the point. Let's be real about this $640,000 price tag, because that's where a lot of people check out. Is it worth it? That depends entirely on who you're comparing it to. Against a Rolls-Royce Spectre, the electric Rolls, the Luce is faster, more powerful, and makes an infinitely more interesting statement. Against a Bentley EXP 100 GT or a Porsche Taycan Turbo GT, the Luce has the performance figures and the brand cachet to justify the premium. What you're paying for at $640,000 isn't the battery or the motors. Those are the means, not the point. What you're paying for is a Ferrari, the most emotionally loaded name in the automotive world, in a format that is finally genuinely usable. 4 seats, 330 miles of range, a design that will never, ever be confused with anything else in a car park. Ferrari has been careful not to market the Luce as a conventional EV aimed at mass adoption. It's positioned as a flagship Grand Tour designed to preserve the emotional appeal and exclusivity associated with the brand. At that price, for that buyer, yes, the price makes sense. It's not for everyone. It's not supposed to be. This is the question I find most interesting. Not is it a good car? It clearly is. But is it good for Ferrari as a brand? Ferrari's stock fell after the unveiling. The internet reacted badly. The purists are furious. And yet, Lamborghini canceled its upcoming EV due to a lack of demand. Ferrari went the other way. They committed. They hired the most famous product designer on Earth, built an entirely new platform from scratch, and put their name on something genuinely polarizing. That takes confidence, or arrogance, depending on your perspective. Here's mine. Ferrari has survived every controversy it's ever created. The Dino didn't have a Ferrari badge. The Mondial was widely mocked. The FF, a 4-seat, 4-wheel drive shooting brake, was considered heretical. Every single one of those cars is now respected, collected, or both. The Luce will follow the same path, not because the design is perfect, I'm not sure it is, but because the engineering is serious, the intention is clear, and Ferrari has earned the benefit of the doubt about 100 times over. This isn't Ferrari losing its soul. This is Ferrari doing what they've always done, making something that only they would make, on their terms, whether you're ready for it or not. So, is it still a Ferrari? It doesn't sound like one. It doesn't look like one. Not exactly. It seats 5 people, and it never needs a fuel pump. But it has 1,000 horsepower. It does 0 to 60 in 2.5 seconds. It was designed obsessively, built in Maranello, and priced like only Ferrari would price something. And it will make everyone in the car park turn around, not because they recognize it, but because they can't quite place it. That feeling of, I don't know what that is, but I need to find out, that's very Ferrari. For the right person, and you know if you're that person, this might be the most compelling thing Ferrari has ever made. For everyone else, it's the beginning of a very interesting argument, and personally, I'm here for it. Subscribe because the 7 levels of Ferrari is coming, and after the Luce, that video is gonna hit completely differently. Drop in the comments, does the Luce make you want a Ferrari, or does it make you want to protect your existing one?